No one will believe these 6 terrifying dashcam captures. Occasionally, we encounter some truly terrifying finds on the road. I'm not referring to a raccoon dashing across the street or a driver cutting you off in the middle of the road. I bring up ghosts, aliens, and Bigfoot. Dash cams are useful bits of kit that are slowly creeping into everyday motoring. This is a list of unexplained dashcam captures that we need a satisfactory explanation for. Hello, welcome back to The Ride. Today's topic is the scariest dashcam captures. Subscribe to this channel and enable the bell icon to avoid missing stories. Number 5, bridge collapse. Sadly, we must show you another tragic event, this time in the form of a bridge collapse. While there are many different types of bridges on our great planet's highways and byways, this one was a very specific artificial bridge in Florida that would collapse suddenly and swiftly, as the footage shows horrifyingly. The video shows multiple cars and 3 queues waiting to pass the traffic junction just a few meters away. The recently completed bridge crashes into traffic on one of South Florida's busiest routes, crushing cars and pedestrians beneath. The 174-foot-long bridge connected Florida International University with the community of Sweetwater and was installed in 6 hours over the 8-lane highway. What strikes me about this specific collapse is how it appears so strong and sturdy one moment and then falls in the blink of an eye. One second it's up, the next it's down. The one thing that warms my heart is that after the bridge collapsed, the people who were not injured immediately got out of their cars and rushed to see what they could do to help the others. That's just some good people right there, and no doubt after the incident, any future bridges of this type that were built were checked and double-checked to ensure that something like this never happens again. Number 4, elephant charge. Some creatures appear peaceful, but are not and should never be touched. Elephants, particularly wild elephants in Africa, are one such animal you should never approach. The consequences can be seen in this video, where the driver feared for his life after the animal charged and began wrecking the vehicle, seriously damaging the hood and other parts. The poor man was so scared to leave that he did not leave the car until parsley arrived. If you do like the content, make sure to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon for more videos like this. Number 3, naked police chase. No, this was not a case where the cops were naked, but rather they found a woman naked at a gas station, and when they tried to help her, she stole a deputy's car and led them on a police chase that ended in a car crash. To make matters even stranger, the woman kept changing her story about what had happened, including that she was assaulted, drugged, possessed, and so on. She would be captured, clothed, thank goodness, and then put in jail, where she would hopefully receive the proper care she needed and deserved. For those officers, I'd honestly bet this was probably not the weirdest thing they've ever seen. Number 2, wind and trees. Wind gusts might be deadly depending on where you live. For example, in Illinois, flat areas are densely inhabited throughout the state, which can cause winds to become uncontained, causing gusts that can blow cars off the road. But they can also mess with trees, as seen in this video when a person in a vehicle is caught in the middle of a severe windstorm, which you can see in full by focusing on the trees themselves. They're moving back and forth with incredible fury. The person in the automobile sensibly stops, since they can feel the winds pushing on their ride, and presumably worries about what will happen with the trees, and their premonition comes true. When the trees a few hundred feet ahead of the truck crack and crash with a thump on the road. If she had kept driving, they might have snapped and fallen right onto her car, killing her. So thank God that didn't happen. But let it be a lesson to you that wind doesn't play games, and more importantly, it can do things that blow your mind, like breaking trees that are supposed to sway with the wind. That swing eventually overextends and they snap and fail again. If those branches had collided with the automobile or the ones about to fall down the road, they would have been crushed. Keep that in mind the next time you're in a strong wind like this one. Number 1. Plane crash. Unfortunately, the following entry is far more devastating, depicting an airplane disaster in 2015. One of the many ironies in this narrative is that the jet crashed not long after it took off from the airport. Thus, when it began to crack, a car on the highway could capture the footage on the dash cam that they had in their vehicle, and be honest, it looked incredibly weird to the point that the crash nearly looked false, but it was not. The plane seems normal and even level at first, but then it begins to turn. As it approaches the road, it flips over and engulfs in shallow water. Similarly, many people died in this crash and others went missing. 15 people survived and everyone was glad, but the overall loss of life was far too high. One can only picture the thoughts of those aboard the plane and those on the road, seeing that plane slowly crash into the ground. Number 6. A girl hit by a car. On a Melbourne street, a terrifying dashcam film shows a man slamming on the brakes as a small child darts in front of his car. The video, which was shot last Thursday afternoon, shows a young girl in pink trousers darting out from behind a parked car into the middle of the narrow street. A man, likely her father, has his back turned and appears to be working on the house, which has a ladder propped up against the fence. The driver slams on the brakes and the car comes to a stop, but it still collides with the girl, bowling her to the ground as she tumbles over. The father yells angrily and smashes his fist on the car's bonnet before sprinting to pick up the wailing girl and hurling abuse at the driver. The Victoria Police Department was approached for comment. The driver was more patient than I would have been. I'm glad the child was not hurt, but I'd have had a hard talk with Dad later about his attitude and adjusted accordingly. I hope this is one dash camera experience that none of your vehicles ever have to go through, because I'm sure you'll never want to see the full clip again after you watch it live. Real? We've come to the end of today's video with these 5 most terrifying dashcam videos. Which was your most frightening video? Have you seen any of them before? Share your thoughts in the comments section below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating videos like this. Please click the bell icon to get notified when we post such interesting videos.